Today, we've got a story from ancient India with a title that just grabs you, right? King Nimi, the king who lost his body. I mean, how does a king lose his own body? And more importantly, what could he possibly gain from something like that? Let's dive in.
So, right from the get-go, this story makes you think about something really fundamental. As we go through this, just keep this question in the back of your mind. What's really more powerful, a royal crown or a calm heart?
All right, let's set the scene. Our story starts way back in ancient India, and it centers on a king whose life is basically a masterclass in wisdom and dharma. That's, your righteous duty. Now, you gotta understand, King Nimi wasn't just any king. His family tree was, well, epic. He was part of the Surya Vansha, the Sun dynasty, said to be descended directly from the sun god himself. This is the same royal line as legends like Lord Rama. So yeah, the expectations for Nimi were through the roof.
So you'd think a guy with that kind of background would want, more power, more treasure, right? Nope. His one big goal was to perform a grand yajna, a huge spiritual ceremony, for one reason and one reason only, the peace and happiness of his people. That tells you everything you need to know about the kind of man he was.
And this really hits on a huge idea, doesn't it? That true greatness isn't just about the family you're born into. It comes from your character and your wisdom. Sure, his lineage gave him a crown, but it was his selfless goal that showed where his real greatness was. Okay, so we've got our noble king. But every great story needs a twist, a real challenge. And King Nimi is about to face a massive one, where his duty is going to clash head-on with the pressures of time. So here's the predicament Nimi finds himself in. It's a real pickle. He invites his family's royal teacher, the great sage Vasista, to lead this important ceremony. But Vasista's running late, tied up with another event. Nimi waits and waits, but here's the catch. The sacred rules are super strict. The ceremony has to begin at a very specific, auspicious time. So what do? This is a tough call. But Nimi decides his duty to the kingdom, to the sacred ceremony, has to come first. He doesn't just kick Vasishta to the curb out of frustration. He respectfully asks other learned priests to begin, just so they can honor the sacred timing. It was all about duty, not disrespect. And that decision, well, it sets the stage for the most intense moment of the whole story. The sage is about to return, and what happens next is this incredible showdown between pure, fiery anger and just profound humility. So when Sage Vasista finally shows up and sees the ceremony's already finished without him, his wisdom just gets completely swamped by his ego. And in that moment of pure anger, he lets fly this absolutely devastating curse upon the king. You shall lose your physical body. But King Nimi's response here is what makes this story so unforgettable. He could have fought back, cursed him in return, argued his case. Instead, he just calmly accepts it. He basically says, I don't even want a body if all it does is create pride and ego. It's just a stunning moment of spiritual clarity. I mean, look at this contrast. It's so clear, isn't it? On one side, you have Sage Vasishta acting from his bruised ego, and his words are just destructive. On the other, you have King Nimi, focused on a deeper spiritual truth, and his response is just transcendent. The difference is everything. And that is the absolute heart of it. This is where we learn what real strength is. It's not in having the power to throw a curse. It's in the humility to accept a tough situation and see beyond your own ego. Now that is real power.
So, what happens now? A king loses his body. You'd think that's game over, right? Well, not exactly. Nimi's incredible humility is about to lead to a reward that no one saw coming. This is the incredible part. Because he was so selfless, the curse basically gets turned on its head. It becomes a blessing. King Nimi becomes a Vidaha, a being who exists beyond the physical body, beyond all those earthly attachments. What was supposed to be a punishment becomes his ultimate spiritual freedom. So when you boil it all down, this story leaves us with some really powerful, timeless lessons. It shows us that ego just leads to suffering, while humility is the path to peace. It's a huge reminder to keep anger in check, respect our teachers, stay humble, and remember that true wisdom is the only thing that really lasts. And that brings us all the way back to that question we started with. After hearing King Nimi's journey, the answer feels crystal clear, doesn't it? The big takeaway is the simple but powerful truth.
A calm heart shines so much brighter than any royal crown. It really makes you wonder, what crowns in our own lives are we chasing when maybe the real prize is the peace we can find inside?